Hello, everybody. So hopefully everyone's had a great day and enjoying some dinner. Yeah, let's give a round of applause for all of the help we've had today and amazing speakers. We've got a lot of great feedback on all the speaker content. So we really appreciate everyone showing up and staying for our wonderful dinner and keynote. So we have a few logistic things to go over, and then we will kick it off with Sandy Steiger, our keynote. So raffles from some of our great sponsors. So we've got some pretty cool prizes and hopefully some winners that are in the room still. So if I call your name, that means you run a raffle prize from one of our great sponsors. So I will let you know who that is. Then we will have a word from one of our platinum sponsors, Magellan. And then we will have the winners of our Data Viz competition. So that will be set there. So, okay, with the raffle, we have IGS, who has a nest for lucky winner named Sinatra Coleman. Oh, nice! Okay, so if I call your name, just head to the back, and my girl Marilli in the back has your prizes. So you can head to the back and claim your prize. Thank you, IGS, for the nest. From Illumination Works, we have some awesome Amazon and Starbucks gift cards, my personal favorite. So $100 from Amazon goes to Brandy Daughtry. Sorry for these names being butchered. Brandy. Okay, Brandy, if you're here, just head to the back of the room. $25 Starbucks gift card to Jen Albers. Jen. All right, Jen. Cool. $25 Starbucks gift card to Anna McCullough. Anna, you can head to the back room and get your Starbucks gift card. $25 Starbucks gift card to Lauren Burke. Lauren, if you're here, you get your gift card. And then $25 to Bill Horvath. Bill, I hope you like Starbucks. Who doesn't, right? Okay. So those are our Illumination Works gift cards. So thank you to Illumination Works for participating in the raffle. And then a few more prizes. So Magellan. So Ziwei Chen won a Fitbit Blaze. Z, if you're in the room still. Sydney DuBois, an App Store iTunes gift card for $200. That's some pretty awesome content you get there. So again, head to the back of the room if you hear your name. And this is from Magellan. And then lastly, from Centric Consulting, we have a Cameron Mitchell gift card going to Jennifer Hyder. It's Jennifer, if you're in the room, just head to the back. So that concludes our raffle winners. Just a quick note on happy hour. If you are just kind of, done for the day and decided you're not going to make it to happy hour, but you have a full conference badge, feel free to donate it over at our registration, leave it there, and somebody will put it to good use who's a little thirstier than you are. So that is happy hour. Okay, so now I'm going to have a word from our platinum sponsor, Magellan. So Magellan, like I mentioned earlier, has been a tremendous support for this conference in so many ways. On top of being a platinum sponsor, they've sent incredible speakers and panelists. It's been a pleasure, true pleasure to work with them. So without further ado, I will introduce Gabby from Magellan, who is the IT Chief of Staff.
Thank you. I don't need to stand over here, right? No, I'm good. Well, thanks, everybody. I don't want to bore you too much during your dinner. Thanks, Katie and Reagan and everybody that put this conference together. We are very happy and proud to sponsor an event like this, great content, and hopefully you've had a chance to hear from our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Karen Amstutz, talking about how data insights and analytics are really changing our industry. So I am happy to be here and share a little bit about Magellan, and I'd like to invite you to stop over our table during happy hour. My story, I guess I'll share a little bit with you and why I'm at Magellan. I decided to join Magellan in September of last year, right after I had my first child, so Layla, she's 10 months old. And I was very excited to go back to work, but I wanted to go and work somewhere where I can make a difference. So Magellan brings to me this massive transformational purpose of leading humanity to vibrant and healthy lives. And I'm able to work with a team that does really innovative work. And other women like me that understand the importance of a balanced life, or what we like to call it a work-life flow. I always joke that it sounds like a fitness class, but it's really that ability to do the work when I have to and be with my family when I need to. So I'd love for you guys to stop by, say hi, and so we can get to know you and you can get to know Magellan. So thanks, Katie.
Thanks, Gabby.
Thanks, you guys.
All right, and then the last piece of business here is a pretty exciting one. So Cover My Meds sponsored our data visualization competition. So you guys probably saw the amazing data visualizations out in our data gallery over there. Hopefully you voted for your favorite one. So these competitors put a ton of work into these data visualizations, and we really had fun going over them. And so we're going to present the winners now. So the top 3 winners get some pretty awesome cash prizes. So I will have Jen Seal from Cover My Meds come up and tell us a little bit about who you guys voted for.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm from Cover My Meds. We're a technology company with the mission of helping patients get the medicine that they need to live healthy lives. We were really passionate about data. We're really passionate about data visualization, so we jumped on the opportunity to sponsor this data visualization contest. So without further ado, 3rd place winner with Ticketmaster was Elisa.
Elisa, if you want to come up and get your prize. Who's Elisa? Elisa might be busy somewhere. She's Elisa. Elisa, are you in the room? Oh, there you are. Cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Look at that. And the 2nd place winner with World Happiness is Sunith and team. Sure. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Share trophy there.
You're going to take your picture right there. And the 1st place winner, Women of the City, Danushki.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Big thanks to Cover My Meds again for supporting that competition. We are really excited about it, and we are excited for our finalists. So last but not least, we have our amazing keynote. And to introduce our keynote, of course, we're going to have Reagan make the intro for Sandy, or it might be me. It's going to be me. So, okay, so I am here to introduce Sandy Steiger. I've had the pleasure of getting to know Sandy over the past few months as we've been working on this conference. Sandy is so impressive in so many ways. She's the Vice President of Analytics at 8451. She has held many roles within that organization and done Humby as well over the last 13 years. All quantitative roles focused on telling customer stories through data science and insights. Sandy has been involved in helping to shape the data plus analytics revolution at 8451, cultivating curious analytics community and bringing customer data to life through storytelling. Prior to 8451, Sandy received her Master's of Science in Statistics from Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, and her Bachelor's of Science in Mathematics and Business Administration from Mount St. Joseph University. It's my pleasure to introduce to you all Sandy Steiger.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today. When Katie first called to talk to me about
possibly participating in this event, I got really excited because I don't think there's enough activities like this or forums for a group of women to all get together and talk about the field of analytics. A lot of times when you see mostly men, so it's actually really encouraging to see a room full of women and sort of for us to be here to empower and educate and learn from each other. So I first, let's see, I'm gonna skip over that. I always like to start getting to know people. I think the best way that you can find something to take away from my talk is you actually understand and know a little bit about who I am. So Katie gave me a nice little introduction and told you about my educational background. I did start, as soon as I graduated from Miami, I went straight to dunnhumby. dunnhumby was founded in the UK, came to the US, partnered with Kroger, and we analyzed their Kroger Plus card data. A few years ago, Kroger acquired dunnhumby USA, that portion of dunnhumby, and we became 8451. That is our longitudinal address. Technically, it's negative, but no one ever would want to be a negative organization. So we are the positive, the absolute value of 8451, so our longitudinal address. I am the head of our analytics team. A little about me. So you heard a little bit about my background, my education. Who am I? So I put up here my Myers-Briggs profiles, my top 5 strength finders, and then the Enneagram. And if you actually look across these 3 and figure out, well, what's similar about them, I'm a helper. I like to bring people together. I enjoy engaging, understanding, getting to know people on a one-on-one basis. So individualization is the #1 strength that you'll see there. That's why I think I'm able to bring our team of analytics at 8451 together, is because I spend so much time getting to know each and every person, but I can do that in such a way that I can cultivate a nice holistic team atmosphere. We're a group of 150, and it feels much smaller than that. We feel like a family. I would like to say, that's my family up there. That's actually the most important thing probably to me. I have a 4-week-old at home, so you're welcome that I came, and I have that little baby that I left. Her name is Lydia, so I didn't realize I was going to be here 4 weeks after having her, but it is a pleasure. I have been receiving text messages from my husband. I'm tracking the video monitor the whole time I'm here. So this is my 30-minute break away from that, so it's probably a good thing. All right, so I want to talk to you about how we've evolved the analytics organization, the analytics team at 8451. So the way I'm going to structure this talk isn't necessarily the exact same way we've come about forming it, or the timeline. It all sort of happened holistically together. It's all a combination at one time. But the first thing that's most important is to really define, who do you want to be? What do you want your team to be known for? At the end of the year, let's say, the end of the year, what is it that you want to say you were able to accomplish at the end of this year? And so that's what these are our success statements at 8451 as an analytics team. These are the 5 things that we'd like to say at the end of the year, at the end of probably more than a year, 3 to 5 years. It's going to take us a while to get there, but this is our identity. This is how we know our team, they can rally behind these messages. These are the things that they know, that themselves, I know that I have to think about myself in a way that I'm an analyst, I'm a researcher. We aren't all I'm not a data scientist. Oh, sorry. I'm not a data scientist. I'll be the first to tell you that. I'm an analyst. I'm a storyteller. I understand how to look and think about data, tell a story with it, and how do I bring that to life for the people around me, and how do I teach that amongst the people on my team? How do I teach that amongst others? It's not necessarily just about who we are, the research that we do. It's also about the right technology. So knowing that our team, my team, has the technology they need to get the job done. So we have to bring that into the organization. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We want to make sure that we're providing analysts with the right opportunities to stimulate them. There have been many talks that I've sat in today, and I feel you've heard a lot of what I'm going to talk about today. But one thing that was discussed in one of the sessions was about bring data scientists into an organization. You bring analysts into an organization, and then you ask them to do something that's not what you hired them to do. You sell them on this big idea. We want to build up, or we want to use, so at 8451,
We want a Python expert. We got to bring somebody into the organization who's a Python expert. My first question is, what do you want that person to do? I understand that that's the new technology, that open source language, but we don't have the infrastructure or the technology. Today, we're building it for them to come in and be successful. I don't want to hire someone into the organization and set them up to not succeed. So I want to make sure that before I bring that person into the organization, I have what they need to do the job I'm hiring them for. Outside of just our team, we also want to think about the culture. I've heard a lot about culture in today's conversations as well. In the career path conversation, or the career path panel, they were talking about hiring towards your culture. I think that's really important. We do that at 8451 as well. We make sure that every interview that we do, a portion of that interview is around their cultural fit. So these are the 3 values that we talk about at 8451. Limitless minds. You've heard a lot about curiosity today. That's something that we hold in, especially in an analytical role. I expect my team to be curious. I expect them to ask questions. I don't think that they should settle or should be satisfied with the first answer they get. If something doesn't look right, you should be questioning it. You should be asking more about it. You should be digging a little bit deeper. Fearless hearts, that's the courage to speak up when something doesn't seem right. If someone's doing something they shouldn't be doing with the data, I've done that myself too. I've sent a note out to people who are high above me and said, you are not looking at that data the proper way. You shouldn't be sharing it that way at a conference, and I will give them the proper dialogue, the right word, the right terminology to go about and sharing some of the data. And then relentless delivery. Delivery is the passion. I want my team to have passion for what they do. Some of the best people on my team are not necessarily the ones that have the biggest degrees or a PhD. They're the people who love it. They get excited about the data. They get excited about learning, and they want to keep doing more. Everything we ask them to do, they say yes. They love that. It's that curiosity, that nature, that inquisitiveness about them. They just want to keep continuing to learn. So once we know who we are as a team, who we are as an organization, the next thing that we needed to do is actually think about the industry. And these are just a couple of different slides, and I put them up here because 8451 has been a SaaS house. SaaS is the technology that we've used. But that slowly we need to be migrating to more open source language. And if you see the Birchwork study, I'm sure none of this is new to any of you, but this is something that I've needed to share more and more with the team at 8451 so they understand why we're migrating off of SaaS. We need to move more into the R and Python. Well, to be quite frank, and I say this to the team as well, it's a cheaper option. It's a cheaper option to go this way. There's constantly new modules, new features being deployed within R and Python and other open source languages, and we should be taking advantage of that as we move more towards machine learning and those and data science technology, the different methods and models that we want to build. That's the direction that we need to be moving in. The TIOBE index, SaaS is actually, I think, number 22, from the highest rated. So I have to share this because we have some people within our organization who, that's what they know. SaaS is what they're certified in SaaS programming. So I want to share with them that I don't want to forget about you. We definitely want to bring you on this learning curve with us. But I also know that to get to where I want to go in the future and I want to have more data scientists, I actually have to start recruiting people who have that R and Python skill set. They need to be bringing that to the organization for me. One, they can help me teach that. Well, not me, because I don't know it either. I have to learn it. But we have to be able to teach that with our existing talent, but bring that into the organization as we're hiring. So we know we need to evolve our analytics team. So when we think about the skill sets that we're looking for, we started to think about each of the analysts within the organization and the different roles that they've played. And I've heard a lot about that as well, that every analytics team or data science team within an organization, there are different roles, different functions to play. And we think about that similarly with the analysts at 8451. We actually sat down and we listed out what are all of the skills that we expect an analyst to have. Doesn't necessarily mean on day one, but between day one and the time and as you're evolving your career, I expect that people are learning and developing that entire time. And we have about 40-something skills that we expect our team to know or to be developing in. Some of those things are very general business skills. So Everyone in the organization, in my opinion, should understand data. They should understand the data that we have, what questions can you answer with that data, or know who to go to get some of that information. All the way down to the more statistics, machine learning skills that we expect of different talent within the organization. We used to hire towards the generalist skill set. That's what I would say I was. I was more of that business commercial analyst. I can talk to the data. I know statistical models. I can talk to that aspect, and then I can give you an in-depth understanding of what approach we took to analyzing the data, but I'll put it in terms that the client can understand. I can relate to them. I understand their business questions. I don't want to hire towards that skill set necessarily anymore, that generalist. We need to hire into each one of these buckets. So we grouped all of these skills together and said there are 3 distinct buckets of people that we need to be recruiting for in this organization. And as we thought about where we wanted to go as a team and as a business, quite frankly, we need that insights analyst person. That would be me. That's that general analyst, the commercial-minded person who I can take a question that the client is asking, I can translate that to what is the business question, how can I use data to answer it, and what's the right approach to getting there. I need that technical process person as well, because as we continue to build our organization, as we work more closely with Kroger and other CPG partners, I need somebody who can actually automate some things for me. I want a process-minded person who's going to take me, I've done something one time, I need to do it 100 times. I don't want to keep repeating that process and spend 3 weeks doing that. I want it to be able to run almost instantaneously. So those automated processes. And then I need that person who's going to think about, what do I need to build for the future? We got to get more into that predictive and prescriptive analytics. So if I want to optimize, I saw a lot of talk about optimization of models as well. I have to hire that skill set. That's the very different person, more than likely, from that insight analyst. So I need to be hiring more of that data science skill set. Very hard to find. We've heard that a lot today as well. I think you can teach some of those skills, but you have to have the right leaders in place to be able to teach those skills of your team. So this is the way we talk about the analysts at 8451. And when we think about from a recruiting standpoint, we're recruiting into these 3 buckets. Primarily, we're skewing much more towards that statistics, machine learning, and technical process skill set. Today, our organization is split 85% insights analytics, about 15% technical process and the data science skills. I want to get us to 50-50 in 5 years. To get us to 50-50, there's several things that I need to do for the team, and that's what me and my leadership team are building right now is what's our training program going to look like. So we have a graduate program that we recruit in. We recruit roughly 15 to 20 grads every year, and we are developing them in some of these specific areas. We're teaching them about the foundation of analytics at 8451. How do you think about customer data? But at the same time, I have to build that technical track, that technical career path for those decisions, the machine learning and data science teams. So I have to hire in experts in that space. So my recruiting strategy is very different than it used to be in the past. And part of this is also, I want to think about the people I have today. I don't want to lose any of that talent. So how do I develop them? How do they know that we haven't forgotten about them as well? Provide them the opportunities they need to learn and grow. So we're building all of these programs at once. There's a lot of stuff going on at 8451. That's why I think right now is a really exciting time. Let's see. So now that I know about where I want to go, what's our culture like, I understand the different skill sets that I want to recruit to or recruit for, I have to have a talent strategy that's actually going to bring that all together for the organization and for my people. So we have an analyst community. I like to think of it as not my team. I think about it as a community and as a family of people. We all come together. We have a common interest. We all can learn something from one another, regardless of level. So there are 4 things this year that we've been focusing on. One is a technical track. Interestingly enough, for being a data and analytics organization, we did not have a technical track. That blows my mind, to be honest with you. And so this year, we've been focused on that, and I'm fairly certain, I've been on maternity leave, but it will be launching this month or next month. I have a couple of people that were on the team. Yeah, they're shaking their heads. So yes, they've heard about it too. It's going to launch soon. That was stuff I was putting in final place before I left. So we're building out that technical track so we can have that focus. And actually, so this is an opportunity for people to grow within the organization into leadership positions, but not necessarily have to manage. And that's been most of the time when you're in a leadership position, you manage a team. But if you're a technical person, that's the way your mind works, managing a team is just not the right thing for you, right? So we need to be providing new opportunities. Talent acquisition, we talked a little bit about that. So how do we change the way we're bringing people into the organization, change that skill set that we're recruiting for? Big thing, retention. I think everyone knows that since data science is such a big buzzword right now, everybody's looking for that person. Everyone's looking for that unicorn. I don't want to lose any of my people. So I have to think about what do I need to do for each individual person? How do I personalize their experience at 8451 so that they feel like we are catering to them and we're providing them the opportunities that they need? When people do leave the organization, we do have attrition rate. And when they do leave, I like to sit down with them and talk about what could we have done differently? What could we have done for you to make it a better experience at 8451? And then try to change over time, build our team in such a way that we're actually catering to some of the, if I hear a general theme. And then the last piece there is the talent development. And that's where I talked a little bit about our graduate program, but this is also our training and development program. A few years ago, we had a pretty high attrition rate, higher than we were used to. And one of the themes that came out of that was, you're not doing anything to help me. I feel like I'm stagnant. The industry is continuing to evolve and I'm not moving with it. I need something to help me, to continue to educate me. And so that's why we've created our continuing education program. So some of that is in-house. We have some experts let's say we have an R program now. We have a beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes that we offer. And that's people in-house at 8451 who have developed that program, teach that program, and then we bring in, to teach those people who are already advanced, we will bring in experts to do more of a day-long session in-house at 8451 to continue to teach their skills. So we want to cater to the environment and to the analysts and give them what they need. So that's our talent strategy. So that's all important as you think about building up your analytics team. It's not just hiring them in. What are you going to do to keep them? And then the next part, and this is where I feel like my role has evolved, and something I used to say probably, well, dating myself, I guess, a little bit now, but 10 years ago, I was asked, do you ever want to take your hands off the keyboard? And I said, absolutely, no way, ever. I love coding. I get excited when the program runs, and I get the answer at the end of it. That's so exciting to me. I do not touch the keyboard today unless it's to type an email, to build a presentation. And that blows my mind, but I've realized I actually enjoy the leadership part of my role. I enjoy the development of the people on my team and watching them succeed. That's actually more enjoyable for me now than the actual coding, than the coding used to be. And that's where I put in here, it's going to sound real conceited, follow me, I know the way. I don't really know all the ways to go, but I will tell you that it's been successful for me. And these are all just inspirational leadership quotes that I like to live by, but these are things where the reason I think I've been successful at bringing this team together and evolving the analytics team at 8451 is because me and all of the leaders on my team are people that others want to follow. There's something about them that you can relate to. We interact with our people on a one-on-one basis. We give them opportunities. Have you, anyone in the room, heard of radical candor? If you haven't heard of, yes, check this out if you haven't actually heard about it or read anything about it. Radical candor is basically, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to give it to you straight. I will tell you exactly what you're doing well and what you need to improve upon. But I'm doing it because I want to help you get better. I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm not doing it because I want to put you down. I'm going to give you honest feedback. And in this, the article, it's actually a video as well, but the woman talks about, I think it was Sheryl Sandberg who gave her the feedback. She pulled her aside after a meeting that she led with leadership, and this woman, they went for a walk, and she said that she must have said or during the presentation. She said, how do you think that went? She said, I thought it was great. I don't think there was a problem. And Sheryl Sandberg said to her, you sound stupid when you say that. Basically, I'm not saying that to you because I think you are, but that's what people are going to think if you stumble over your words that way and you continue to use or and stutter that way. So she took that to heart and thought, that's actually, it was brave of her to give me that feedback. It was hard to hear that, but it made me really start to think about the way that I interact with different people and how I present myself in that forum. So I tell people on my team, you may not like working with me all the time. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. I'm going to help you improve. By the end of the year, you will look back on that year and you will thank me for being hard on you because of how much you have grown in this past year. Another thing that I like to do with my team is I always set them up with, what are the expectations? What do I expect of you on a day-to-day basis? Not your objectives for the year. What do I expect you to deliver for me every single day? You're not going to love your job all the time. I know that. But I expect you to be passionate about it. I expect you to be curious. I expect you to want to be here. And if you're not enjoying it, let's have that conversation. What should you be? If you don't enjoy what you're doing, I don't want you to be a part of that. I want to help you find something that's right for you. So that's just that's what I bring to the organization, is more from that leadership perspective now. I think it's really important to make sure that your team knows that you're there for them. You're there to help learn or grow and develop each individual person on your team, and they have that personal relationship with you. That's why I wanted to start off this presentation with having you get to know me on a little more of a personal level. Another thing that I do with my team, just for anybody interested in it, is I have a monthly lunch, and I don't allow us to talk about work. I think we talk about things about ourselves. Let's get to know each other on a one-to-one basis. And I don't let anyone on my leadership team attend. So I only have this between we have grade 1 through 5 within the analytics organization, and I have grades 1 through 3s. I invite them to lunch with me, maybe 10 people once a month, and that's how we get to know one another. I've had several people after these lunches message me and say how surprised they were. They brought notes explaining talk about what could we be doing as an analytics team? How could we be helping each other get better? And I said, no, I want all that aside. Let's get to know each other on a more personal level, because that's how I get people to stay within the organization. So that is what my talk I wanted to talk to you all about, was just how do you get how do we develop, how do we change, how do we evolve analytics within an organization? I know I didn't talk specifically about any analytical technique. I probably can't answer all those questions too. I already told you I'm not a data scientist. But I'm happy, I don't know where Katie or, right, did we want to let people ask questions, or just have after you're eating, if you'd like to stop over and ask me any questions? After you're done eating, if you'd like to stop over and ask me any questions, I won't be at happy hour. I have a baby to get home to. I've been away from her for over 24 hours. But please, any contact information, just let me know, and I'd be happy to interact with you. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's give another round of applause for Sandy, our keynote. Thank you so much. Okay, thanks everybody for coming today. I have some final words and things that I would like to talk about before everybody heads either to the happy hour or home. And then a bunch of thank yous, so you'll have to sit through that as well. So apologies up front, but there were so many people involved in this that I'd like to thank. So I will go through that list. But I'll try to make it brief. So today we got information and topics on a large spectrum of analytics from incredible speakers. The goal of today primarily was to provide a podium and a place and a stage for women and experts in this field who wanted to discuss things that they're very passionate about, and I think we accomplished that today. I hope that you got something out of this conference. I hope you got new information. I hope you met new people. I hope you made new connections that you will foster in the future. I did want to mention that part of the proceeds of this conference is going to the Data Science for Women Summer Camp that TDAI at Ohio State is putting on. This is an opportunity for young women in 8th to 10th grade to actually participate in an entire summer camp over the summer that is 1 week long, where they get to engage and do data science tasks and also be exposed to similar to women that you were all exposed to today. So we are absolutely supporting that initiative. If you're a parent and you have any children or any daughters specifically that would be interested in that, please find us online. you can go to our website under the Proceeds tab. Also, Jenna McGuire is here as well. Raise your hand, Jenna, wherever you are. She's in the back there, so if you have any questions, she is really spearheading that entire initiative. Is probably looking for some volunteers, specifically if you're a company that would like to partner with them, host workshops, have the campers actually visit your company, or provide mentorship opportunities. Please find Jenna before you leave today. The second piece that I wanted to talk to you about was that we fully anticipate on continuing to engage the community, especially the people that we brought together today, and we're looking for people who are interested in participating in some of those planning sessions. So essentially, we're going to launch a new initiative that's an analytics learning community that's going to marry the free available online sources with the local community here in Columbus. So we're going to launch it here first. This will provide you a way to actually have support to finish online courses together in cohorts and have access to local experts that are willing to provide mentorship in those topics. So if you're interested in getting involved in that planning, we plan on launching that after this conference. If you plan on going to the happy hour, make sure on your badge you have a little red strip at the bottom. That means that you bought a full ticket and you have access to the happy hour afterwards. If it's gray, that's a happy hour only. And if you're interested, we have some extra badges that you could use and claim to attend. If you have a red badge and you don't want to go for some reason, drop them off at the registration table so that somebody else can go that wasn't able to. We did sell out of that as well. So I did want to just list briefly all the thank yous that I have. There are so many people involved in getting today together. I'd like to thank all of the incredible speakers that not only here locally, but also all over the US. So if we could recognize them and give them a round of applause for participating today. They put in a ton of work on getting their content prepared for all of you, so thank you so much to everybody that came in for that. I'd also love to thank our incredible sponsors, our platinum sponsors Nationwide and Magellan Health, our gold sponsor Cardinal Health, our silver sponsors Illumination Works, Centric Consulting, the University of Cincinnati, FactGem, and IGS, which I'm sure you all engaged with today. Thank you so much for being event sponsors. Thank you to Kaz for sponsoring all of our beautiful lanyards and also sponsoring students to attend for free. We were able to sponsor 22 students to attend the conference for free this year. And that also includes Open Data Group, the Columbus Collaboratory, and OCLC as well. So if you're a student, make sure that you thank them for sponsoring for you to come today. Thank you so much to Articulation, Ruth, wherever you are. She offered her services to our speakers. That was a huge support for us, so thank you so much for doing that. Columbus Business First was our media sponsor, so thank you for your support for this as well. We'd like to thank the Tech Community Coalition, Warner, for helping us and supporting us logistically over the last 7 or 8 months, so thank you so much. I'd like to thank the crew from the Collaboratory that actually recorded the session, so thank you guys a ton for taking time to do that. And I would also like to thank the WIA team. So if you're still here from the WIA team, if you could please stand to be recognized for all the work that you guys put into this. Thank you. So Elizabeth and Cole are in the back, as well as our advisory board, if you guys are still here too. If you guys could stand. I see you, Dave. Thank you so much. Jen's somewhere out there too. Thank you. We really appreciate all of your work. This is not easy to put together, so thank you so much. And thank you to all of you for participating today. If you are headed to the happy hour, the easiest way to get there is go through the convention center all the way to the south side, cross the street. It's on 130 East Chestnut. So if you go under the bridge and take a right, you'll be right there. So it's super, super close and walkable. And then we look forward to engaging with all of you in the future. Please keep an eye out for future events that we're going to host, and come and talk to me if you haven't already. Thank you so much.